meaningless. Joining us live on this Thursday morning, National Senator M.Canavan. Good to see you this morning, Matt. Let's start off with Hamas. It's not the praise you want.
No, not exactly. It's a little embarrassing for our country. But what's more important here, Peter, is trying to stop this war, stop the killing, stop the devastation, stop the loss of innocent lives. And the problem with the Prime Minister's position is he hasn't been able to coherently explain how recognising a Palestinian state is going to help bring peace sooner. Clearly, his announcement here has given some succour to Hamas. Clearly, that is only going to encourage Hamas to continue to fight, to continue to hold the hostages, the innocent lives that are trapped in the Gaza Strip, so that it is the core of this conflict continuing. And so I've always felt that the really only role for Australia and the Australian government in this conflict, it's on the other side of the world to us. It's a long way. We don't have a huge influence, but our only role is to try and do things that help deliver peace. My view is the Prime Minister's premature recognition of a Palestinian state has only made peace harder to achieve, and that's very, very disappointing for the Australian government to play such a role.
Well, its response to that is, well, yes, we're a small player in the region, but by joining other like-minded nations, it is a step towards a two-state solution. No, it doesn't have the answer. I was questioning government officials about that. They said, well, this is up to the Palestinian Authority to work out. So that's the answer to your question there too.
But my criticism holds just as much for those other countries doing this, those European countries doing this. In my view, this just continues to stoke division within the Middle East without a real plan to deliver peace. And at the heart, which is perhaps even more disappointing, at the heart of these decisions seems to be the domestic politics of the European countries, of the Labor Party here in Australia, rather than actually the interests of the innocent victims there in the Middle East.
Well,
and that's not just disappointing, it's also selfish on our part to be putting political issues in our own country, however difficult they are for the Labor Party to manage. They're putting those ahead of people facing bombs and losing their lives in the Middle East. They should be the priority, and as I say, as I started, I can't see how the Prime Minister can coherently explain how his decision helps them. That should be our front and centre interest in this debate.
And Marco Rubio mentioned that, didn't he? He said, like, this is for a domestic audience. And otherwise, it's meaningless at the UN because you've got a member of the General Council. All they have to do is veto it and then the whole thing's off. It doesn't do anything. So it is a play for a domestic audience.
Well, he's exactly right, and that commentary's been repeated a lot here in this country. Clearly, the Labor Party has a problem with its own political base on this issue, but as I say, I don't think we should be subsuming our foreign policy interests, especially ones that go to impacting innocent lives overseas, to the various factions within our political parties here in Australia. We're very lucky to live in a peaceful country, and we should not be seeking to create more division or prevent peace from occurring that we enjoy in other parts of the world.
Okay. Hey, Matt, let's get to EVs. Jim Chalmers is working on a plan for an EV levy. It would be, this is according to the AFR today, a gradual phase-in that would start with heavy electric vehicles, not the smaller ones. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, I'm just sick and tired of as a country where we tax with one hand and spend with the other, when maybe we could just get government out of people's lives. I mean, if they seriously think there's an issue with electric vehicles not contributing to our public coffers, not contributing to the upkeep of roads, why are they handing out hundreds of millions of dollars a year in subsidies to electric vehicles? I mean, if that's a problem, get rid of the $500 million a year fringe benefit tax exemption that the federal government presides over. The import tariff concession the federal government provides. Get rid of that. The luxury car tax a discount they provide to electric vehicles. And then on top of that, you've got state governments complaining as well, because they have a lot of the road spending and maintenance. Almost every state government in this country offers registration discounts and exemptions to electric vehicles. So why don't you start there? Get rid of that, and then you can actually reduce the size of government, reduce the amount of ridiculous complexity in our tax law, and fix this budget issue without having to establish a whole new tax, which requires more bureaucrats and more oversight, more red tape for people driving. I just don't get it at all. I don't. I mean, well, and this apparently is the biggest priority of the Productivity Summit. I worry for our country.
So as for a road user charge for EVs, it's a no for you?
It's a no for me right now because I don't see the issue. Have a look at it. The fuel excise. I mean, people need to actually look at the figures. In the last budget papers, fuel excise is meant to raise $7.1 billion this financial year. In the next 4 years, it grows to $8.2 billion. It goes up 12% over 4 years. Now, I checked about 7 or 8 years ago, it grew by 15% over 4 years. So the growth rate is a little bit down. That means $300 million less in 4 years' time. We've got an $800 billion budget. The EV subsidy I mentioned to fringe benefit tax costs $560 million a year. What are we talking about here? As I say, this is just a plan for more taxes on people. This whole productivity summit next week is just a platform to tax you more. And I don't know how that's going to help productivity, and it's not going to help the living standards of Australians.
All righty. Matt, we'll have to leave it there. Good to see you, though. We'll chat to you again soon. That picture that you're seeing on the corner of your screen, folks.